Afterthought LLC, please. I am on my knees. I am on my knees. We need another flyer, please. I don't want to play Pteranodon, and all we have is Quets. Please give me another flyer. I beg. I beg. You guys are gonna sit here and listen to me yap about Tapejara for however long this video ends up being. And as you're watching the video, you're gonna click that subscribe button so you watch every single one of my videos here on out. And while you're at it, become a samurai for $1.99 a month, and you'll be featured in my next RimWorld video. But yeah, Tapejara, right? Tapejara, Tupendactylus, whatever the fuck you want to call this thing. It is an herbivorous flyer, something the Isle has yet to see, because we literally only have two flyers, one of them being a giant, the size of a giraffe, that eats children, and the other being about the size of a person that eats fish, with the occasional stegopestering. For the sake of pronunciation, I'm just gonna call it Tupa, because to be honest, I don't think I'm gonna be talking about Tapejara, just because of the significant size difference, and I think I'd rather a much bigger flyer than Tapejara. And Tupa is like 2 or 3 times the size of Tapejara. Tapejara is like extremely small, weighing like a few pounds, not even. So I think a mid-size herbivorous flyer would be really interesting to see. It would contrast extremely nicely from Pteranodon and Quets. In real life, it's around the same size as Pteranodon, but in-game, they could honestly just upscale it a little bit, maybe twice the size of Pteranodon. It would be really interesting if they added Tupa and made it like 150 to 200 kilograms. Not as fast and agile as Pteranodon, but maybe more of an endurance flyer, fly longer distances in order to keep up with its migrations. Because relative to Pteranodon, Pteranodon doesn't need to fly around too much. He can just find fish wherever water is. Tupa, if it's an herbivore, it's going to need to fly to its migration zones like the rest of the herbivores. And the nature of it being an herbivorous flyer could lead them to add some super interesting interactions with climbing creatures. There would be some super interesting interactions between Tupa and Herrera, because Tupa would need to get food and stuff from trees. Maybe if they add some fruit you can grab in the canopy of the forest, so the Tupa would need to grab onto a branch or land on it in order to get it. I think that would be really cool. I know a lot of people don't really feel the need for more than Pteranodon and Quets, and they think that's enough. But let's be real here, they're adding like 50 plus creatures to the Isle. Not every single one of those 50 plus playables are going to be available on officials. They're going to have multiple different official servers, most likely different maps consisting of different sets of playables. Like I said, if they can add 50 plus playables, which some of them are pretty questionable, Styracosaurus in question. We already have Diablo, and now that Diablo is 3 tons, Styrak is just like a carbon copy, essentially. So my question is, why do we not have more flyers on the roster? Flying being one of the more fun activities in like any game, capitalizing on that would be incredible, and having different niches of flying creatures would be awesome. And it's not like they're just like these immortal beings that can spectate, essentially. You have creatures that have the availability to hunt these things. Herrera has every ability to be able to hunt flying creatures. I think they just need to make it so the flyers have a necessary motive to land in trees, because Herreras, when they're walking in the trees, they clip to the branch, so you can't just walk off. I think giving the flying creatures some capacity to walk in the trees as easy as a Herrera, maybe that will lead to more interactions and vulnerability. Because right now, Pteranodons land in trees a lot to get stamina, or just a really high place, wherever, it doesn't matter. But I think making the flyers have more availability in the treetops, I think that would give them some vulnerability, because that would lead players to use the trees more. Adding Tupa in general would just add so much atmosphere. I would love to see like big flocks of Tupendactylus flying across the sky, headed to their migration zone or to their nesting grounds or whatever. And flyers especially, I think, add the most atmosphere when it comes to games like this. It really just brings the vibe together, and you don't really see that in Pteranodons. A lot of Pteranodon players just either fly solo, or it's just like a pair that are harassing a stego. On the occasion, I'm actually like walking on a path, and then I look over to the river and there's a Pteranodon skimming the top of the water. It just feels so nice. It feels like I'm in an actual environment where creatures live. It really puts me into the game, and I appreciate that aspect of it, and I wish I saw more of it. And there's always the more creative aspects they could look at. I think overall, we just need to get more creative, and by that, I mean, we have schooling fish in the water, right? Wouldn't it be awesome if there were just like bug swarms here and there in the sky? Any small to mid-tier flyer could just like fly through and catch something and then get some food that way. I think that would be really cool for Tupa, or maybe even like a swarm of bats that Pteranodon and Tupa could eat and then land in the trees afterward. I really do think the airspace in the Isle is a very underutilized ecosystem that I don't think they're looking at whatsoever. It is literally just Pteranodon and Quetz. That is it. We're not gonna get anything else until modding support. But yeah, this is my little Tupa rant. I made a video about how we need more flyers. I don't know how long it's been now, but I posted it a while ago. Just talking about how we need more fucking flyers, please and thank you. So yeah, go check that out. Like I said, subscribe and shit. Everybody put on their Tupendaculus t-shirts, get their torches and pitchforks, and raid the Isle Discord asking for Tupa. Yeah, see ya. Peace out.